Our guest today on Caribbeana is Mr. Keith Easton. Keith is a Guyanese residing here in Washington, D.C., and I must say at home in Guyana too, you know, simply because of his linkages with the concept of what he's promoting and exercising in. He is the president of the museum, Friends of Villages Museum, Archives and Cultural Center here in the nation's capital. And in Guyana, it's the Museum in Guyana, Buxton Friendship and Archives Center. Keith, welcome to our program, my friend.
Yes, thank you, Vaughn. And once again, thank you for having me on your program.
All right, tell us, I mean, it's amazing to see the diligence that you play into exercising the fulfillment of the objectives. Tell us what's the objectives. I mean,
Well,
is it a collection of arts and artifacts? Tell us.
well, actually, um, we have two boards of directors. One board of directors that started the museum from over here, which is the Friends of the Villages Museum and Archives Incorporated. We are a 501c3 organization. And then we have the museum itself, Buxton Friendship Museum, which is a nonprofit organization. What we do in the US is assist in maintaining the museum in Guyana and also do what we call an oversight, financial and otherwise oversight. And now, if you want, I may add, our mission is threefold. And why I say threefold, it's a museum that we consider one of its kind, because we are not only a museum, we're not only an archives, we're not only a cultural center, but we also provide other benefits to the communities in terms of economic programs, health programs, and also we have what we call a Young Visionaries program, which we have young people that we're educating to take over the museum,
right,
and also to be educated along those lines and play a part in the village.
Now, where do you get your material to be contained in the museum? Is it items that are archival items that are collected over the years, both here and in Guyana?
Yes. Initially, we have paintings and artifacts that were contributed by people in the US and in Guyana. And recently, that is also after a visit I made to Ghana, we also have some donations of artifacts from someone who is associated with a Ghanaian group in Guyana.
Right.
So we also have artifacts not only about Buxton, not only about Guyana, but also Africa and other countries.
Right, right. And this is somewhat of a documentation of the journey from Africa to this part of the world.
That is correct.
Right. Is it a challenging, how challenging is it to expedite this effort that you're trying?
Well, you said I am, but let us say we, right?
No problem.
In the plural sense, it is very challenging. Why it is challenging? The support of the museum comes from contributions from people in the US, in Guyana, and other parts of the world, and also based on our fundraisers in Guyana, as well as in the US.
Wow. So it's a challenging task, we say. Do you find it, is it a popular feat? Do you find that young people are driven towards you or are eager to learn of the efforts that you are putting out in maintaining this cultural reality?
Well, it is something new to Guyana, in the sense, as I said, we are a one-of-a-kind museum, archives and cultural center in a village in Guyana. and I was told that it is a one of a kind. Seeing that we do that as well as other aspects of the village, we do have, and it is a challenge in terms of getting our young people to be part of all our activities.
Right.
And that is why we started, even before the museum was opened,
Right.
a program with what we call the Young Visionaries, providing what we call a life skills program with them,
Yeah.
and educating them about the museum, because in the near future, when myself and others cannot do what we're doing now, they have to take over. So
Right.
it is a journey, and a journey not only in Guyana, but also around, in the United States. Why? We are trying to do what other museums are doing, bringing that form of education, museum education, to communities, because museums play a very important part in the lives of people, that social aspect.
Right, right, right. But yes, I quite agree, and Guyana of itself has had a very rich history with people like the late Forbes Burnham, who I had the opportunity of meeting and interviewing. And there are lots of facets of the society and the cultural reality of Guyana that should be maintained and can be maintained. Um, how 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 do you see your status now in advancing towards this maintenance?
Now, two things, that's a challenging question. Two things. One, let's start from the formation of the museum, which um, was August the 4th, 2018.
Uh-huh.
And now it's our 6th year. So number one, it has been challenging. And we look at the culture of Buxton, because the museum is in Buxton.
Right.
And Buxton history goes way back, 1840-41, right? From our enslaved foreparents.
Right.
Right? And the culture there too, at that time, after that, we've had other ethnicities being part of Buxton. So Buxton came up as a multicultural entity,
Right.
right? And so we have to respect that also, that multicultural entity, right? But we still have to reflect on our foreparents and the African culture, right? And it's challenging, as I said. And today we were asked to host Marcus Garvey birthday at the museum,
Uh-huh.
with a drumming session there today,
Right. Right.
right? In honor of Marcus Garvey birthday, right? And that's again an achievement, along with all the other persons that have been visiting the museum. Now, challenge. Financial challenge is one of the things, in terms of, one, we open Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 11 to 5.
Right.
And we would like to open more days, but we have to work according to the budget that we have and the budget that we foresee, in terms of where our support comes from in terms of raising funds,
Right.
right? While at the same time, we are advocating to the government, and not only this government, but all future governments,
Right.
as is done throughout the world, that museums are part of the social aspect of each country and each community. So we are advocating in order to be supported of that with the cultural aspect. So we are advocating to get funds from the government.
Right. 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 Man, it's a fascinating task that you do have, um, and there must be a way that you can encourage young people, the younger generation, to embody the efforts that you're throwing there, you're throwing out.
Yes, if I may pick up on that. And while I'm speaking to you, or speaking to you now, I would also like to reach out to youth in the United States, and those who are hearing otherwise, who would like to be a part of us. I will give my phone number at the end, right? and they can also reach out to any one of the other board members, as well as that we do have a website, which I'll give out all of that at the end, right? To be part of our museum body, right? In terms of being on the board as a board member, or being a director at large, you know, what we call a honorary director, also a supporter. So we're reaching out to get persons, but we need our youth, and we need our young male youth also, right? They are missing in societies, not in Guyana, or you know, our young male are missing in society. So it's an appeal, and this is what we are doing that is different from other museums.
Right. Well, it's a challenging task that we all do have, and it's a global phenomenon that's taking place, you know. Um, and I certainly hope that you succeed in the efforts that you're conducting. It's a worthwhile cause, and you know, so give us the information that you know, where can people reach you to find out more or further information, your website, for example, and so on.
Now, before giving all of that, or first thing, my telephone number is 240-601-3892. I'll repeat that, 240-601-3892. And my email address is keasto2@gmail.com. Then we have the museum. While I'm looking for that information, the museum over here, not the museum in Guyana, but our Friends of the Villages Museum, our 501c3, I will give you that information in terms of our PO box and email address. But we do have on Saturday the 4th, which is coming here, Saturday the 4th, we have our pepper pot lime, right? Our pepper pot lime in Maryland, and that is at 9204 Tuckerman Street, 9204 Tuckerman Street. That's our pepper pot and lime, which is one of our fundraisers. That starts at 4 o'clock. And
but where?
In
9204 Tuckerman Street,
Lanham, Maryland. 9204 Tuckerman Street, Lanham, Maryland. Zip code 20706. One can call me for in terms of getting tickets. Also, we have Jimmy Tom, who everybody knows has tickets. Taste of the Caribbean also has tickets for sale. So you have Jimmy Tom, who everybody knows, Taste of the Caribbean in Capitol Heights again, right? And we're asking for support at that event, whereby the cost includes a bowl of pepper pot and bread, and then you have Chinese dishes on sale. There we have Jimmy Tom music playing, and for those who want to play games, they can walk with their games to play, right? So that is part of our outreach and our fundraiser, basically. And any other question in the meanwhile? Jimmy T's number is 240-418-2951. That's Jimmy T's number, 240-418-2951. And persons can find Taste of the Caribbean also on the by Googling it in Capitol Heights. Oh. And in closing, we do have a website also that persons can just Google Buxton Friendship Museum or Friends of the Villages Museum. right? And they can look at our website, which is in, it is still being worked on right now. So I don't know if you have any other questions, but
And
please come out and support us on Saturday coming. That's on the 4th at 9204 Tuckerman Street in Lanham, Maryland, zip code 20704.
all right. Well, listen, Keith, I wish you good luck. Stay strong to the cause. And I just hope that things succeed, you know. Again, I've been speaking with Keith Easton, and Keith is the head, I would call you, the director, the man in charge of the Friends of Villages Museum, Archives, and Cultural Center of Guyana. This is Von Martin. Caribbeana continues.
Thank you.